Okay, ladies, gentlemen, anything else? Welcome once again to an episode of Expert Reviews. Here we are on Paris. Grab your baguettes, and that volume seems too loud. Let me fix it. Okay, so we got Dirtbag Dustin in the VK7501K German premium tank. He's platooned with a T832 and a Chrysler K. Cool. Good old heavy tank platoon. Hopefully we'll get some brawling on a very brawling orientated map. Paris. Equipment-wise, improved hardening, bounty gun ammo, by the looks of it, vents, and a directive for gun loading. Average balance of standard, premium, and HE shells, and we got a premium consumable on board as well. Lovely! Okay, so which tank among their platoon is going to get to the flank first? Well, the Chrysler GF, or the Chrysler K, are used to the Grand Finals edition because that's what kicked off the massive shitstorm around that tank. But yes, that particular tank, very mobile for a heavy tank in terms of horsepower per ton ratio. Here we've got a horsepower per ton base of 12, I think, with that 900 horsepower engine, given that this tank weighs 80 tons max, I think 75 on average. Whew, it's a lot of weight to move, as you'd expect, given that the hull is 180 at the front, 100 at the side, 80 at the rear, and carrying on the turret, we've got 250 at the front, 100 at the side, and 80 at the rear. It's not to say the tank is immortal, though, as we're sideswiping around a right corner here, we are exposing the cupola. But really? What were you thinking you would bounce off his track and kill an arty behind him or something? So, let's look at the armour here. I mean, this is what you all want to do. Rear-mounted turret. It is perfect for side-scraping. But look at that big old cupola. 160mm of armour. Cupola is a weak spot. Isn't that nice? 250 on the face of the turret, as we said. These turret cheeks are not weak spots. They're like 160, I believe. One thing that's worth noting about this tank, top of the turret and engine deck are 40mm. Alright, so here, 40mm. So if you have above a 120mm gun, you will overmatch these places. Considering this tank is tier 8, a lot of things that face it will have 122mm guns or higher, so worth knowing about. Now, lower plate is 160, but it's about 180 effective in most scenarios, going up to 200 when it angles, and the upper plate is 260. This machine gun port, so far as I know, is most certainly not a weak spot. But yes, this is a side-scraping god of a tank at tier 8, so we'll have to see how he uses it. As far as gun performance goes, 3.37 amps per minute, base, 226mm of pen, 263 with premium, and the HE shells. Lovely side shot there, taking one from the Indian Panther. HE shells, 65mm of pen. You got 490 average damage. Yes, we are wielding a 128mm gun, of which many German heavy tanks at tier 8 would be jealous. HE shells go up to 630 alpha damage. How damn pleasant is that? And you're seeing the angle he's putting this tank at here is absolutely the appropriate angle. Yeah, I'm surprised you had an orange pen marker with 226mm of pen on that Emil's turret there. Very surprised, and then bouncing APCR off your side at this angle is to be expected. 525 does feel very punchy, this gun. And it got a base reload of, I think, a bit of over-angling there. I was going to comment on it, but then you got shot and it was kind of obvious. But yeah, this is too much. This is too much for 100mm of side armor. 100mm side armor is pleasant, but here it's not spaced. It's basically just your flat armor. You got 20mm of space track armor over the top of it. that is not going to stand up to standard ammo from a phase 1 there, 258mm pen, I believe. So a bit poor angling there. But 0.39 accuracy, are we going to get a shot where we want it? Oh, I'd say worth taking there. Not. Oh wow, unlucky to take that hit there. But hell, what can you do? 0.39 accuracy, as I was saying. I was wondering whether it was going to be enough. That AE phase 1 is over-angling, and Dirtbag has straightened out his angling now, putting himself in a far better position. Now, the phase 1 at this point, and it's worth thinking, phase 1 goes for the cupola shot. AE phase 1, as far as I know, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, but as it's American, I think this is the case, 120mm gun. It's not going to be able to overmatch the tongue, even if it could hit it. And this is one of the assets when you think about positioning. Not only is he sideswiping in a remounted tank, fantastic, from the offset, but he's also above his opponents, which means the normally exploitable overmatch region on the top of the tank is hidden better. In addition to that, we're now sideswiping around a left-handed corner, which means our cupola is hidden. This is perfect positioning for this tank. Now, what the phase 1 would want to do here is, even with standard ammo, he has a decent chance, I'd say maybe 40+% chance of pinning the cheeks of this tank, because they're 250 flat. So think of it like a mouse, where you have to hit the center where it's not too sloped. If he hit there, 40+% chance with standard ammo, and if he's firing premium, he goes through every time on the tank there. So that's what a phase 1 should be doing. But Dirtbag is doing his absolute utmost to give him a difficult time here. Now, you gotta go for the cupola shot here, or the upper plate, right? I don't like the side shot in this situation. If this guy's going to get his gun on you, he's already exposing his cupola for one thing, but I think if he gets his gun on you, you can pen here. I would imagine you get green pen marker with premium ammo shooting there, because you're shooting down at it, he's angling it slightly. That would be my theory. I could be wrong, but that would be where I would be aiming here. It's a lucky pen on the side. Okay, no complaints, no complaints. Let's see what's happening below. Oh, look at that. Look at that chunk of heavy firepower right there. T822 hold down. Chrysler hold down, doing some side scraping as well. 2 rear-mounted tanks. Technically, something I missed a shot on the phase 1 there. But good connection by the looks of it. And at this point, 630 alpha damage on HE. You better believe you can pick up that phase 1 with a HE shell if he picks up again. So I might be loading it a bit prematurely here, depending on whether I have intuition or not. Question: do you bait? I mean, it's clear now that he's going to engage the TNH, but if we're talking about psychological gameplay of World of Tanks, what I might do is I might load a HE shell. I know that phase 1 is on one shot and potentially is going to pull this corner. So what I might do is I might lock off my tank aiming at these people with a HE shell loaded, but aim on this corner. So that the second this guy pokes, he was thinking I was looking at these guys, but I wasn't. I was aimed on that corner, so I'd snap it and pick up the free kill. That would be something I'd consider in this circumstance. But I imagine here we're going to be engaging this TNH. Let's see how we go. 263mm of pen. Oh, and we might have picked up the phase 1 if we did that. Oh, okay. Brownie points for me. I've never seen this game before, so I pat myself on the back for that one. Now, what else can we fill your brain with in terms of knowledge? 380 meters of view range on this tank, so that's nice. 5 degrees of gun depression, just about permitting him the engagement on the AE phase 1. Much worse than that, and might have been hard-pressed to even hit his hull with the engagement that we had. Oh, that's nice, that's nice. I'd say probably 60% chance that that shot's gonna pen at that angle, but worth taking before he gets his gun on you. Why ever not? Did I go over all of the statistics of the vehicle? I did, I believe, unless I'm missing something. Let's think about this. T-32 is engaged with a 704. Never mind, the T-32 has departed on a magical, mystical journey back to the garage. 2.7 second aim time, not permitting him to get that shot. And at this point, I'd like to see you go play with the phase 1. What I would be doing is I would be pushing this tank forward. I'll be using this leg, pushing it forward. Not only do I have a chance to drop it on this guy, it covers me from this angle, and it allows me to potentially get a HE shell into the phase 1, right? At this point, this game's kind of in the balance. Fairly equal, 5-5, we're up by 6-5-7 health. This game is by no means a sure thing. But looking at it now, I think we keep an eye on our playmaker. You always want to look for your playmaker in a game circumstance. And at this point, you've got to say, what is that, the 704? Coming up behind, down this alleyway? If you're there, if you push up there, use that leg, you kill the phase 1, that's the game-winning play, right? 704 comes in behind, you're on top, these guys turn for the 704, you kill the phase 1. I reckon that's the play at this point. We'll have to see, because you can push your platoon mates in down below. Eyes on that 704, what's he up to? Doesn't look like he's moving, but the TNH is moving up. Come on, use the neck, dirtbag! Oh wow, that sounds so rude. I do apologise. Okay. Ooh, TNH proxied by the mill and the 704 losing confidence. I do think... Stingy. I do think if the 704 had made that play, he may well have died, so... Probably poor decision on my part, and that's that. Okay. Given the fact that 704 dies now, given the fact that that guy disengaged from a less than favourable engagement earlier, right? What the decisions are being made. An important skill in the water tanks, a really important skill, is to know when you are beaten. I mean, this is an asset in life as well, to be quite frank. Bit lucky with the non-fully aimed shot there. Know when you are beaten. If you are in a situation where you're essentially banging your head against a wall, right? Load HE here, my man. Iron Arnie's gonna give you trouble. Oh, okay. Never mind, platoon mate does the deed. Wonderful work of a platoon on this side here. Know when you are beaten. If you're not going to win, there is no point in pressing it, which is what this phase 1 did on this corner. When it became clear that he wasn't going to win, he disengaged. Perhaps a bit too late, but perhaps he just got unlucky. At that point, it's not worth dying just for your own pride, like, oh, I can win, you cheating bastard, or whatever the hell you're doing. Like, stay alive, stay in the game, stay in contention. And it causes me a great deal of surprise that the phase 1 went down so easily after displaying a decent bit of decision making by not sticking around in this engagement. But, oh well. Okay, I'd say this game is a fairly easy win at this point. If we observe the positioning right now, I don't know whether this is accidental. I don't. But a prudent strategy when you are in a platoon or when you are alive with a group of people is to lead by health. Like, you lead by, well, as you can see here, this guy in front, 757 health, VK here, dirtbag, 565, and the Chrysler in the back, 149. It is a prudent strategy to lead with health, right? You put the guy up front that can take all the hits, and the more fragile people come in once everyone's fired at the guy in front, right? It keeps guns in the game, keeps your power and DPM up. So, nice to see. Hopefully they're not gonna switch it up and just make me out a liar, but I'm hoping to see them continue this sort of tactical march here. Oh, I am glad that the STG didn't go down. It would have been quite a potent threat on base if that were the case. Canadian Panzer 105, for one thing, is a very mobile vehicle. Oh, okay. Iffy. I mean, cap pressure is difficult because of the RT, right? Scorpion should, on average, one-shot that RT. Yes, okay. Now things get a little easier. You can cap pressure with 1 at this point. Cap pressure with 1. In all likelihood, you put the Chrysler K in the cap, although you might want to think about mobility at this point. The VK Dirtbag here is the slowest. But the reason you cap with 1 is so that if this RT, which is very mobile, or the Canadian Japanzer is very mobile, enters into the cap, you can immediately relocate someone else into the cap to make it 2. Right? It reduces the risk a great deal of having them both suddenly start capping and you finding yourself in trouble because you're not mobile enough to defend. But what I would do, one person in the cap and the other people take up defensive positions. Right? So, we shall see. It looks like the other RT is going to find himself going down. Does go down fighting. Gotta respect it. VK's still got his gun in the air. Oh, HE shells are loaded. What can we note? I know, he's loading AP again now. Seems an odd decision. If you weren't loading at HE for the Kanonenpanzer, what were you loading it for? Because none of the RT acquired a HE shell. They don't have enough hit points. Odd decision there. What can we gain? What information can we glean? This Scorpion didn't take a hit from anything except the RT, which implies that the Canadian Japanzer doesn't have a presence on this flank anymore. It's not a certainty, but it implies it to me. So I would, at this point, given how that Scorpion has performed versus the RT, I'd be turning and expecting the Canadian Japanzer on this side of the map to present here or coming from the mid. I would not expect him out on the field. And even if he is going to come from out on the field, you've got a Scorpion in this area, right? When you're applying cap pressure, you want to get vision and coverage over as many approaches as you can. So at this point, I'd be sending someone, maybe similar to Chrysler, to this corner just to hold it, and move the VK back into the cap, have the Scorpion watch the field. But yeah, I wouldn't be YOLOing out, I certainly wouldn't be YOLOing out onto the field here. Though, at this point, with 32 seconds left on the cap, Canadian Japanzer's reloaded about 8-9 seconds. If he spends time shooting at you, he's not going to be able to reset the cap. So, from a game-winning point of view, this is a safe strat, even if in any other situation, it absolutely wouldn't be. So, is this game going to have a twist at the end, or is it just going to draw pleasantly to a close? Oh, well, I was quite correct. Canadian Japanzer does get one reset. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Good work by him. But at this point, he's got 20 seconds. He doesn't have enough time to relocate or come from a separate angle. He's got 2 tanks that can one-shot him, pre-aimed on the situation. Maybe he gets a HE shell into the side of one of these tanks, gets the reset. I don't know, but I doubt it. Comes from the other way, head first into the Scorpion, and that is GG. 5th kill for the Scorpion. Nice game by him on Paris. Alright. A pleasant game, no mistake, a pleasant game, well worked by the platoon on that flank. Some moderate to okay decision making, nothing really to write home about, nothing remarkable, but an interesting game to comment on. Thank you very, very much. If you're interested in having your replay commented on, send it to replays.wolst@yahoo.co.uk, and I will put it in a folder, and perhaps it will come up in this series, which we do every Wednesday. So, thank you very much, and farewell.
Peabody, cheers from Germany, man. Thought I'd write a couple silly verses, my friend. He is a nice guy like Ned Flanders, but wielding a pen hammer that make viewers feel him like a gang member, yeah. You better never ever shoot versus the man, cause that's a jerk of his hand, hence you're a permanent ban, yep. Like in a roleplay game, you wield a dagger but